this team going to be remembered after this game?
Well, I mean, I was part of the Everton side in '97 when we stayed up on the last day of the season, and a lot of the players are adored. That's how Everton fans treat their players. They want to see hard graft. I mean, the emotion for the Evertonians right now will be pure elation, and they will be so happy, and they'll be thinking, this has just been an incredible journey. But when they sit back and they sit down over the coming sort of days and weeks, they'll be thinking, how bad were we at the start of the season? How bad were we at Christmas time? 2 months ago, I had Everton absolutely dead and buried. Then I think what happens, Kay, as well, sometimes as a footballer, I don't know if the lads agree, sometimes you've got to go to the well. Sometimes you go to your lowest point. You know, you get to rock bottom and then you find some resilience from somewhere. And then you dig yourself out of a hole. And they've not just done it tonight. They've done it against Leicester. They've done it against Man U. They beat Chelsea. They've had some astonishing results. So when the dust settles, the fans, the players, the management, they'll all be thinking, we should never, ever, ever be in this scenario again. It happened in '94, happened in '97. It's happened now in 2022. It can never, ever happen again to Everton where you've got to rely on a couple of results just for a team like Everton and a club the size of Everton to just about survive. They've spent more money than Liverpool this season. Since Farhad Moshiri's been there, they've spent close to 600 million. They're going into a brand new stadium. This can't happen to Everton Football Club ever again. They've got to take stock. They've got to learn what's went wrong. The good people around the football club, keep them on because they'll drive Everton on next season, I've got no doubt.
And Mario, do you think because it was such a close call, that's why we saw the scenes that we did? I mean, the pitch invasion started after Dominic Calvert-Lewin's goal that obviously would have secured them safety. There was still time to go there. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Yeah, when I was in Wigan, I'll never forget. We had to play a game, you know, like a Highland Chelsea, but now I go to Wigan the day we play, and it was again Arsenal. We losing the game, and I'll never forget, Charles Sambia gets the ball on the outside. He comes inside, he bends the ball in. I'm telling you, I did not care whoever came on the pitch. I would hug anybody. Because, you know, the thing is when you say to yourself, you know, look, relegation is not like anything can happen to you as a footballer. Eh? But relegation, for me, is the hardest thing to accept. And I think that's why I totally understand those fans. It's not weird for me. They don't like how people could be and they say sometimes to you, yeah, but you just going to watch the game. You can't behave yourself. No, my friend. I've been waiting for this moment. So when it happened, we celebrated so good. I never forget, came to LA on holiday. Oh, my holiday was a million times better than ever. I swear to God, Kate, I'm telling you, I don't care what happened to me. I enjoyed everything. I got stop taking your hand in front of your face. It was amazing.
Have you got any photographs?
Let's keep that secret away, but it was great.
Yeah, what happens in LA stays in LA. I know that's not the same, but maybe in this case for you, Mario. After this, Shaka, what for Frank Lampard? How is he going to be viewed after the season that he's just had?
He will be judged by, I think he'll be given another opportunity of it next season, and that's when he'll be judged. But in judging him next season, you have to take into consideration exactly how close Everton were to getting relegated this time around. And Don's right. Right now, the feeling is one of elation. You feel as though you've won the Champions League because being in that relegation dogfight has that kind of pressure on you, or the exact inverse of what it is to be a Liverpool or a Manchester City, as we've seen this season. So all of a sudden now that you've secured Premier League survival for next season, that feeling just really spills out. You hear the fans within Goodison chanting Frank Lampard's name. And to use Don's phrase, once the dust settles, I think everybody will take a step back, recognize that despite the spending, Everton are still the fifth worst team in the league. And that says an awful lot about the players, about the manager. I know Frank Lampard wasn't there all season, so he can't bear all that responsibility. But as a club, they'll have to have a very good look at themselves and figure out what went wrong, put it right to make sure it doesn't happen again. How this team will be remembered, I think, will be defined by how they do next season. If this team struggles next season, I think what we witnessed today will quickly be forgotten, will be dismissed. It can even add to the pressure of a poor start next season. If this team goes on and does well next season and is comfortably top half of the table, then that Calvert-Lewin goal and the Keane goal all of a sudden takes on far more significance in terms of the history, certainly as far as the fans go in remembering the day.
Don, more positivity from you, seeing it is, though it is a special night. We've kept you up late. You've been on the call for this game. You're no doubt tired with that new baby at home. But Everton are staying up.
Exactly. And that's why you're seeing the emotion. That's why the fans spill out on the pitch. Frank Lampard immediately went from his dugout and he climbed the stairs. He was up there with Peter Reid and Graham Sharp and Joe Royle and Bill Kenwright. Tony Bellew was up there as well, and he was dancing. He was dancing in the main stand because he knows the amount of work that his backroom staff have all put in to get Everton to this point. And, you know, if Everton had went down, yes, it would have been on Rafa Benitez's watch, but it would have been on Frank Lampard's watch as well. But he deserves unbelievable credit because, as I said before, I thought they were gone. 2 months ago, I had Everton gone. They had no fight, and they had no bottle. They had nothing about them where I thought, where are the leaders? Then all of a sudden, Frank's got them together. Richarlison, I thought, in the last month and a half, has been sensational. I think Yerry Mina, when he played, has led that back line. Decore, I think, deserves a special mention tonight. I thought he was man of the match by a million miles. I thought he was incredible. So Frank Lampard, I wouldn't have thought just now, Kay, but I think in the summer he'll be thinking, some of those players I need to ship on, I need to move on, I need to buy a better calibre player. Because Frank Lampard doesn't want to be fifth bottom anymore. And Everton shouldn't be fifth bottom anymore. These Everton Football Club should be in the next 2 or 3 years, they should be where Wolves want to be and where Wolves are, fighting for seventh, where Newcastle might be in a couple of years' time. That's where Everton Football Club should be. And happy, happy scenes and happy days tonight.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.